Yo, what's good, y'all, man? We got Chucky episode 8 breakdown plus season 2 theories and review, though, man. Season 2 is gonna come next year, 2022. Cause I was hoping, man. I was hoping like they better make a season 2 or just make some other shows, man. But they is gonna make season 2 cause we still gotta find out about that truck. You know what I'm saying? What happened to Andy and yeah, up to the other girl too, cause that house got blasted. I think she died, though. I ain't gonna lie. I think she just a dumb ass. But yeah, though, man. But hey, go straight to the breakdown, man. The whole season was good, though, man. Season 1 was good. I saw episode 1 to episode 8, and now I'm looking for season 2, man. And yeah, I can't wait for season 2 to come out, man. It's gonna come out next year. It might come out like the same time as this one, probably October. Cause yeah, it might come at the same time, like around Halloween type shit. It might come like that, like this year to next year type shit. But yeah, let's get it.
Alright, I got a lot to say about this season finale, but I want to make one thing clear up top. Season 2, now that it's official and announced.
Yeah, I saw it on the end credit scene. They said we'd be back. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I was happy when they said that. I'm like, okay.
Awesome.
Cause I was hoping like, man, you can't end like that, man. You can't end a good season like that. Cause some shows be ending like that though. They just be like, fuck it, no cap.
Hashtag justice for Nika. Y'all are doing my girl dirty. We need.
Yeah, they cut her 2 legs. She cut her 2 legs. Like she just cut them off. And she got like, they doing her dirty for, I ain't gonna lie. They doing her dirty as hell. They doing her dirty, man. Now she can't walk or nothing, like she in a wheelchair.
Redemption, please. Hello, Chucky fans. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chucky Boy. The season 1 finale of the Chucky TV series has now premiered, An Affair to Dismember. And now knowing exactly what that title means, I'm not happy about it. But what I am going to do here for you guys is giving you my breakdown of the season finale of the Chucky TV series, giving you my honest reaction, pointing out little Easter eggs and details you might have missed because there was a whole bunch in here, but really just my spoiler thoughts and review of the season in general. I'm going to need you Chucky fans to also give me your opinions down below about this season.
And appreciate all of y'all that I did videos on episode 1. I think I skipped this one episode, but other than that, the breakdown, because I watched the episode, but it's just too late. But yeah, appreciate all of y'all that supported on the videos, man, on the Chucky series and shit. Appreciate y'all. Okay.
Season finale and the entire season. Did it live up to your expectations? Are you excited for season 2?
Nah, it lived up to the expectation. No, I was like the whole season was good. No cap.
Is on your wish list for season 2. Alright, but without further ado, let's just start going shot by shot with this season finale, because I got some things I loved and some little nitpicks I was kind of sad about. Alright, so with the opening of the season finale for the Chucky TV series, they started off with a bang with this line:
previously on fucking Chucky.
By far the best recap we've ever had. From there, we're following the great Andy Barkley, who is
I thought Andy gonna die, but they were like, nah, Chucky like, nah, we don't need Andy right now. We gonna need him for this, later on though. And they were trying to blow his ass up, but Andy's so smart because he know like they want to do that shit. He's like, yeah, I know it's boo-boo traps and shit. So that's why I vote with Andy though, man. Like he know, but the girl, her dumb ass, she ain't know. I don't know why.
This is the last address that Jake gave him, where we see Junior and Chucky now partnered up, starting to roast my boy Andy.
Dude's almost as short as you.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah,
like, damn, I'm 5'7". I think that's the national average, but leave us short people alone. But with Junior now under the manipulation of Chucky, he decides to play along for the ride, inviting Andy.
He talking about your mom here? Nah, she died. She killed herself. Even though Chucky did. He like, your dad here? He like, yeah, he here. You know what I mean? Like he playing with him now. He like, where he at then?
Barkley into his house, playing this fake game with each other.
Where he at then? He said, well, he might be in the bathroom. Well, not bathroom, but he didn't read the phone though. He was in the bathroom. He said, well, might left. I'm like, bruh.
Like he's there to buy Chucky the good guy.
And he like trying to be cool though, He just like, man, he just going along with the bullshit.
collector, which just reminds me of all the weird encounters I've had when I go to buy stuff off Craigslist. And I gotta admit, through all these little moments, I was getting real scared for my boy Andy Barkley. I had no idea who would be making it out alive this season, but we do it.
Facts. It's like, bro, I thought it was, man, these killers, folks, man, you don't know who gonna die. Like, they killed us. They killed the police or the investigation girls. They killed mom. They killed like 2 moms. Or not, no, 2 parents. You know what I mean? And it's a whole lot of shit. No cap. But yeah, you ain't gonna lie. I ain't know who gonna die. Like starting off, I was like, yeah, I thought. But I ain't gonna lie, it was like surprise death. I ain't gonna lie, no cap.
We'll eventually find ourselves in the bathroom where Andy has decided to give up looking for Chucky and realizes he's probably not home, leaving the Wheeler premises with then Chucky popping out of the toilet, which I have to imagine is a reference to the Ghoulies poster, another horror movie of a creature that comes out of the toilet.
Yeah.
If not, man, that is one risky move to have damn Chucky be popping out of the toilet. It is here though where we get a couple little interesting tidbits and some Easter eggs to past Chucky movies, where it seems like Chucky is a little bit afraid of Andy and realizes that he probably is one of the only people that could kill him straight up. Also,
See, that's what I was saying too, though. Because that's what I was saying. Anybody else, he'd be like, yeah, let's kill him. But this one right here, Andy different. You know what I mean?
also mentioning a few fears that Chucky has in his life. The fact that he could be killed with an axe, which is a reference to Sita Chucky and the way Glenn did that. Also how he hates fire. That's something Andy even mentioned in previous episodes, that's the worst form of torture Andy has done to Chucky. And probably my favorite, a reference to Child's Play 3, where Chucky says he hates big industrial fans, which is the thing that caused them to be chopped up into pieces until he was eventually re-stitched together for Bride of Chucky. The last interesting tidbit we get in this scene though is Chucky does mention he does have a plan for Andy Barkley, so we have another little scheme that Chucky is cooking up, and it involves Andy staying alive until whatever plan he has in mind comes through. And with the way the season ended, I guess that's something we'll see for season 2. Cutting us to the title card sequence of this episode that is just filled up with a bunch of Chucky boxes. Now, I know I say this almost every recap, but this I think is now my favorite title card opening, and
oh yeah,
if there's any sort of way to turn that into a display, I would buy it in an instant. Bringing us to the home of Lexi, where her and Jake are trying to come up with reasons why Chucky's trying to get one another to kill each other. But before they can come to a solid conclusion to what it could mean, we get one of the Chucky dolls coming to life. This being the same doll that Jake found in the subway station in the previous episode. And I'm just going to refer to this doll as the Jay Leno doll, because I don't know what it is about it, but it's got itself a really big chin. And right when it seems like this Chucky doll was gonna go ahead and wreak some torture on the gang, we have Kyle coming in to save the day. I like how they didn't do the cliche thing of waiting for Kyle to show up at the last minute to save Andy Barkley. That's all what we thought would happen, but she shows up right away. Kind of don't know how she knew to show up to Lexi's house.
Yeah, I was like, how she knew that they was even, like, I don't understand too, though, like.
But I guess we just gotta forgive that.
Yeah, you just, it's a show, so, shit.
And it's here where Kyle fills in our young main characters about what exactly Chucky is planning, where yes, she confirms getting one of the younger cast members to kill somebody was part of a voodoo ritual spell that Chucky has now completed. Not just that, but she also mentions that Chucky can only repossess good guy dolls, that it has to be an exact vessel for him to be able to multiply himself, which would be a good explanation for why we're seeing Chucky not show up in Spider-Man dolls, G.I. Joe dolls. It only can be good guy dolls. And after this episode, I feel like they're running out of good guy dolls in the world. I don't think they're making these things again. So it looks like eventually we will hit a limit of good guy dolls that are out there, unless they just start reproducing them in the 21st century. But now that Jake and Lexi have been filled in on this plan, Kyle does something a little sneaky and has spiked their coffees.
Yeah, I don't know why she did that shit. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know why she did that. Spike their coffee like that.
Putting them to sleep. And something that might seem a little weird, but honestly, I think this makes perfect sense for Kyle to incapacitate these younger members, as she's doing it to just protect them. Bringing us to the childhood home of Charles Lee.
I mean, shit, I don't know. I mean, protect them? I mean, yeah, but they got their own self, though. Like, they got their self, man. No cap.
Ray, where we see Nika is on the floor as Tiffany walks in, only it's not Nika
Yeah, it's Chucky, but you know you got a full ass.
currently in control. It is Chucky, Charles Lee Ray, about to kick Tiffany and start getting his revenge for the way Tiffany has kind of been torturing Chucky inside Nika's body. And this will be one of the catalysts for the thing that happens at the end of this episode for Nika. But I just want to say Fiona is doing such a fantastic job as the character of Nika.
I'm disappointed in you, Tiff.
Every time she's being Charles Lee Ray, and the way she could just naturally pull off that laugh and smile and that little accent in her voice to kind of sound like Chucky is so brilliantly done, and some of my favorite parts of this season. And it is here where I'm just still a little bit confused about the sides they take. While I think it is kind of funny to see them fight again, which we know is something that eventually happens with the couple. Even as far as Chucky mentioning, what is this, like the 4th time I gotta kill you? That line was pretty hilarious to me. I just want to know why Tiffany right now is still being so loyal to Chucky, carrying out his plans to where she even mentions, you can't do this without me, you need me alive. And even though this Chucky was about to kill her, we see the Chucky that has been with Junior come in, that Tiffany nicknamed Sweet Face, and Charles Lee Ray Nika decides to listen to this Chucky to continue on with their
Yeah,
plan.
I was saying, she was like, oh well.
And when we get to see little Sweet Face Chucky run up to Tiffany like he's a little kid,
Fact, that was funny as hell when they did that shit. I ain't gonna lie. That was
bringing us
funny
to
though.
some small references to Bride of Chucky, where Tiffany is tickling Chucky, something that she did do to Chucky in Bride of Chucky. Now, this whole situation does kind of leave a lot of questions in my mind exactly to how this whole multiple Chuckies things work. Do they all have like a collective hive mind where one Chucky experiences one thing and then shares that information with other Chuckies? Or is it a situation where each Chucky now has its own life in mind, to where it's possible that maybe someday 2 Chuckies could disagree with each other and we might have a little battle going on between them? We then cut to Chucky explaining the rules to these other Chuckies how to be Chucky.
Any questions? Is there an age limit? No babies.
He said, right here. You know, is it the age limit? They funny as
We're
hell.
not savages.
Where Chucky explained the rules that no killing babies, specifically anyone under 5 or 6 years old, which is kind of funny because Andy Barkley, I believe, was 6 years old when he first met Chucky in his movie. But I thought that's a great scene, and I kind of can't wait to see more Chuckies interact with each other for next season. From there, we see Tiffany go ahead and ship off all 72 of these Chucky dolls with a delivery man, cutting us back inside Charles Lee Ray's house, where we see Chucky talking to Nika, which is Chucky again, mentioning Andy Barkley and how he killed off his babysitter, a reference to the first Child's Play movie where Chucky did go ahead and kill his babysitter slash aunt. But what's even more interesting is Chucky's talking to himself. We see that Tiffany is kind of getting jealous or annoyed with the situation, where Tiffany tells Chucky that he kind of needs to get over himself. It's also worth pointing out during this argument that Tiffany comes clean and admits that she's the reason that the cops found him the night Charles Lee Ray died in the first Child's Play movie, is because Tiffany called Detective Mike Norris
So she basically snitched. Damn.
himself.
I'd like to speak to Detective Mike Norris, please. I have some information.
Name dropping him in a
Damn.
I would love to see again in the future. Tiffany eventually slaps Nika, causing the souls to shift in between, and Nika comes back out of the body instead of Chucky. And now with Nika in control of her own body, Sweet-Faced Chucky is no longer interested in having a conversation with her, instructing Tiffany to kill off Nika for good, as he says,
Kill her.
I'm sorry?
You know what that does to me.
kind of implying that every time Nika comes back to life in
Yeah,
her
he-
body, it hurts Chucky in a way.
Fact, that's what I'm saying. It hurts him. No cap.
But because we know Tiffany is now madly in love with Nika for some reason, she could not really bring herself to do it, and instead decides to kill Sweet-Faced Chucky, decapitating him in a very bloody and
Facts, he did Chucky dirty, bro. No cap.
gruesome way. This was pretty epic to see, and I thought this would be one of the craziest ways Chucky would get killed in this episode, and it was not. But now with this Chucky gone, Tiffany still decides to want to continue on with his plan, and I'm like, I really want to know, why does Tiffany want to keep doing
Facts. That's what I was saying. Nah, he dead. You still want to go to his plan and shit? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
the plan
Like,
of the person she currently hates right now. Tiffany instructing Junior to tie up Nika as she has more important things to do, grabbing a pink suitcase that has has a trigger bomb inside, leading to one of my favorite Easter eggs that I was hoping was a hint to a big reveal at the end of this episode, but it wasn't.
Isn't it cute? My darling Glenda gave it to me. They have exquisite taste.
Where Tiffany explains that the suitcase she got was from her daughter Glenda. Another reference to Chucky and Tiffany's kids that you could kind of explore a little bit on, because Tiffany does mention they have exquisite taste, and nowadays in our modern era, they, them can be a pronoun for one person. And while that could certainly be the case here, I do think that in this situation, she might actually be talking about multiple they, thems, because she referred to her child as Glenda when earlier in the season, Chucky mentioned he had a son, Glenn. And if we're still going with Seed of Chucky being canon, by the end of that movie, Glenn and Glenda were split up into two different bodies, one a boy, one a girl. So I feel like maybe that's what she's talking about, is they have exquisite taste and that maybe she's still on good terms. I feel like this could be the only reason Tiffany still does the things that Chucky tells her to do, is maybe Chucky somehow has Glenn and Glenda hostage, or the promise is that as long as Tiffany does everything Chucky says, Chucky won't ever go after Glenn and Glenda and just let them live their lives. But now that Junior and Tiffany are heading out, we see that Devin is left alone with the severed Chucky head and Chucky body right when Andy shows up to save the day. Now, I do want to mention this might be a little reference to Child's Play 1988, where we had a Chucky head and a Chucky body by the end of that movie going after those characters. It seems like that's what they were maybe doing here. But now that Devin informs Andy what exactly is going on, Andy wants a little bit more information, deciding to pull out his lighter to this Chucky head, something he's had major experience with since we found out earlier this season that he basically spent 4 years torturing that Chucky doll, and the best way to get answers out of Chucky,
boy, he's at 4 years,
is to do it with some fire. But before we can get those answers, we do see Kyle coming into the home of Charles.
And she's so dumb, man. She a dumbass. No cap. She a dumbass. Real shit. She a dumbass, folks.
Activating the little booby
She said no, and he like no.
Trap that Tiffany left behind, causing the house to explode in a way where...
And I thought Andy and them died, because Devin like this. He looked like, oh shit, and he like, oh no. I think she died, because we didn't see her no more after that.
I'm like, how the hell did these characters survive?
That's what I was saying. No, but it's a show though, so a show, they can do anything on the show. It's like a movie. You can get blown up. Like real life, they will all die. No cap, they will all die. But it's a show, man. You know, anything can happen. Anything can happen though, man. No cap.
That event. From there, we cut to the following morning where Jake and Lexi are now waking up from the sedative that Kyle gave them, looking at their phone at the recent news where it's reported that the Charles Lee Ray home has exploded, and since this is the last location they knew Devin was at, they fear that their friend is now dead. This brings Jake to go to Devin's home in remembrance of the person he loves, only to see that Devin is still alive. As that couple reunites, we cut to the mayor, who is now having her press conference setting up the town screening of Frankenstein, where she also introduces Tiffany as the celebrity guest. This is where we get a better idea of the plan Tiffany has for all these 72 good guy dolls, to where by the end of this event they will be donating those dolls to children in need across the US. Finally revealing the ultimate plan Chucky had is just to spread out as far as he can throughout the US, either getting revenge on people that are still alive from his past movies, whether that be someone like Tyler or the Kincaids, or just being able to find more victims to have some fun with. That's a pretty crazy idea, and
she all into it, folks. Like little girl all into that motherfucker. No cap.
I wonder if we'll get to see it fulfilled in season 2. And as this press conference is going on, we see that Junior has manipulated Lexi into stepping into the theater all by herself, bringing us to a trap that Junior has set up.
Yep.
With Chucky to either manipulate Lexi into going on their side or killing her. And I gotta say, this was a pretty tense moment, especially for Junior having this turning point where at the beginning of the season he was kind of getting mad at Lexi for bullying Jake, to now he's a full-out killer. But it looks like Jake...
No, but Jake ain't no killer. Nah, Jake. Junior ain't no killer. Junior is a little boy. You know what I mean? He a little boy, man. He ain't no killer.
Jake wasn't all bad.
No cap.
Because as Lexi is rejecting his deal, Chucky's instructing to now just kill Lexi off. He decides to protect his once girlfriend and kill this Chucky while also
kill. I was saying when he did that, you should know he got a knife too. So it was like Yeah.
So getting himself killed in the process. Really sad to see Junior.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, surprise kill too though, Junior. But I kind of feel Junior gonna die though, cause he was his head ain't right though. You know what I mean? His head all over the place. So I kind of feel he gonna die.
But I think after a character kills off their father brutally, there's really no redeeming after that.
Fact, that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, no cap.
As all that's going on behind the movie theater screen,
and then try to kill the dad. I'm like, damn.
We see that Chucky sitting next to Coraline has a little plan of his own where he decides to get under the movie theater seats, and I just want to say this is now a new fear unlocked for me, where when I go to the theater for the next couple months or maybe the rest of my life, I will be religiously checking underneath my seat to make sure no one is butt poking me with a knife. I also think this is a reference to the first Chucky movie, that whenever Chucky was going after Detective Mike Norris, he was going ahead and trying to stab him underneath the seat. And while he was unsuccessful with Mike Norris, he was definitely successful with Lexi's dad killing him off, man. And what was...
And then she was in the popcorn with the blood on it. She was like... She turned around. You know,
a really gruesome kind of cool way to go.
Fast boy, I was like, oh man, when he didn't say shit, he was like this, blood you like this. I'm like, damn, that's how it ends.
The mom come in with popcorn and him just drool all this blood, and then she taking a bite of it.
She like, I'm like.
Super creepy stuff, and I loved it just as much as I love seeing Chucky poke the butts of other people in this theater.
Then everybody else was like,
But now that the theater has cleared out, it is now just Jake alone with this Chucky doll, and what I gotta say is some great writing. I like this dialogue that was happening between Jake and Chucky, to where I feel like this is kind of a commentary on mass murders in real life, that whenever they do happen, most of the time the people that get talked about is the actual killer and not the victims themselves. And that's kind of what Chucky is talking about here, is I'm gonna continue to be famous, everyone's
fast, pretty much
gonna continue to talk about me, and this town will only be known because of me. Other little moments in this brawl that I like between Jake and Chucky is how he starts mentioning the Damballa god.
You're nothing against the power of the great almighty Damballa,
which is the voodoo god that has granted him these abilities from the beginning. You never really see Chucky kind of talk about him like that, and even Don Mancini, the creator, has stayed away from that, but now it looks like they're super leaning into the voodoo side, and I love it. I also even like when Chucky was talking about the strength he has as a doll.
How could a little doll possibly be so strong? Doesn't make any sense!
But eventually Jake does get the upper hand on this Chucky doll, pins him to a wall, and then squeezes him like one of those little
yeah, but he was like, he's like, I'm talking about my boyfriend. I'm like, okay, Jake. Okay, Jake. I see you, my boy. I see you.
Press toys. Having Chucky's eyes just gouge and pop out.
Yeah,
I plead you again, Funko, if you are listening to me, I need Funko Pops of all these new Chucky's looks. I would love me to have a Chucky doll where its eyes pop out. Also, please don't cancel me, but I laughed so hard when Chucky said this.
I accepted you. Your father never would have.
If you only got the chance to meet Devin.
Oh, that is so gay.
And also, yes, this line.
Watch your fuck.
Oh yeah, that's I heard that too. Like that's also so gay. Even though I mean, I ain't. Hey, do you though? Yeah, do you? Do you though? You know what I'm saying? Do you though?
Fucking mouth. That's my boyfriend you're talking about.
Kind of corny, but also really sweet. Bringing us to the trio outside of the theater to deal with the aftermath of everything they just went through, and I am really liking these characters. This was honestly a great little moment for them, and now I do consider them to be family. But even though that Chucky doll in the theater is now dead, Tiffany herself still is instructing this delivery man to make it to the airport so that these dolls can be shipped out to all these different locations, to where we shouldn't have been surprised at all that Andy Barkley is alive and decides to knock out this driver, taking control of the delivery car that holds all these dolls. Gotta say, it's also pretty badass to see Andy all scarred up and whatnot. I'm just really glad they didn't kill off his character, because I was scared they were going to. Most likely having a plan to try and get rid of all these dolls, where we get a sweet little cameo surprise of Tiffany in doll form. And man, was this a great way for her to pop up, because this is kind of significant. Andy Barkley never met Tiffany or knew that there was a Tiffany Chucky doll, because by the time Bride of Chucky came in, they kind of gave up on the Andy Barkley storyline. So this is the first time these two characters are interacting and meeting with each other.
Facts.
And it looks like Tiffany is gonna force to go ahead and make through with the delivery to have these dolls be sent out to different locations. I'll give you my theories on what that could be.
Facts. Yeah.
In a sec, because now we gotta move on to the part I hated the most in this episode. It broke my heart. We cut to Nika, who is now being held captive by Tiffany after she's done the deed that Chucky has wanted from her to deliver these Chucky dolls across the world, having the doll version of herself take care of that situation. And now her human self can stay and be in love with Nika. Only problem is Charles Lee Ray Chucky is still inside of her, and every time he comes forward, it's a bit of a problem for Tiffany. So she decided the best way to take care of that is to remove Nika's legs and arms, and jaw to the ground and heartbroken, man. I am so conflicted on this. Don't get me wrong, it was a very scary, creepy, and eerie moment where I was like, what the hell? I think anybody would find that situation super torturous, along with no one wanting to be put in that situation. But like, why are y'all doing my girl Nika so
Yeah, they cut out two things though, man. 2 legs. Okay.
dirty? You know how bad I feel for this character? Trying to unpack my thoughts a little bit on this, I guess it does make sense why Tiffany would do this, okay? If Chucky comes back to life in that body, he can't get up, run away, or grab a knife with his arms. But the other side of me that is just
Cut 2 legs off and an arm, so you can't do shit but this mouth.
conflicted on this choice as a fan is, one, I think Nika is one of the most recent important characters to the series. Back when Seed of Chucky came out, I was just not a fan of the comedic take on Chucky, turning him into a family man character, having him have a son, a daughter, a bride. I was like, just not feeling that. So then when the series introduced Nika, went back to the horror roots, started doing something exciting with it, I really fell in love with the character of Nika, not only because Fiona Dorff is an amazing actress, but I found it super interesting how they were able to tie in an unknown character like Nika to Chucky's backstory from the very first movie, and now one of your best actresses on the show was just kind of reduced all season to just screams and crying and panicking. In my mind, I'm kind of like, look, Fiona Dorff as Nika is a really great character. There's so much more you could be doing with her. And then just seeing what happens to her at the end of the season, I am heartbroken as a fan of Nika. I need some justice for her. I don't know what you got planned for her in season 2, but it better be a nice hefty role where she's not just crying and screaming all season. She might have been stuck in a wheelchair, but the character did so much in Curse and Cult of Chucky, and now turning her into this vegetable, I just feel really bad, and I just want something good done for her. I know I'm sounding like a whiny brat, but I'm just trying to be honest. From there, it does take us to the cemetery, where we are seeing the trio pay a visit to all the fallen members of the Weaver household. And what I think is a very sweet and endearing moment with the trio, but you might also notice that Miss Fairchild, the teacher, seems to be the one who drove them there, kind of maybe implying that she has adopted Jake or Devin into her house. Not just that, but also letting us know that the
Oh yeah, because none of them, well, only 2 of them don't got no family.
Cops have let Miss Fairchild go, and she's no longer a person of interest in this case.
That was stupid for her, like, to put it like that. For I ain't gonna lie.
And look, maybe that's what the plan for Miss Fairchild was this whole season, and the reason why we're getting a lot of screen time for her, and maybe she was acting suspicious, is because the show wanted her to be the adoptive parents of Jake or Devin by the end of it. But part of me still feels like maybe there is something up there, and now in season 2 they could expand on that. But you know who else survived? Is it looks like Kyle herself, as we see one.
Oh yeah, I was wondering like, who is that? So she did. I thought she was dead. For I ain't know who that was.
Of her black gloves touched the tree, watching over the trio at the.
But she's still alive though. Some reason, somehow though, she's still alive.
Cemetery, kind of letting us know that Kyle has survived. And if we weren't too sure about that, it does bring us to an end where Chucky is sitting at a fireplace and basically does my boy Dead Meat's job for him, where he gives us a kill count for the
he said 21
season.
No
but it is worth pointing out, and what some fans are wondering about, is in this kill count, Chucky mentions that someone died in the explosion.
Somebody was saying, because she said, not she, but he said 5 when he showed the explosion. I'm like, who died in the explosion? Because we still got Andy, the girl, and we still got Devin. So who? They probably messed up on that shit. I don't know.
And that was caused at Charles Lee Ray's house. And well, we know Andy survived. We know Devin survived. And I feel like we can assume that Kyle is alive because we see her hand and glove at the end of this episode. So unless Chucky is counting that Chucky doll body that is in the Charles Lee Ray house.
Oh, probably, yeah. Probably the doll.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know who else it could be that died there. I guess maybe another theory is that instead of that being Kyle's hand, it could be Andy Barkley, as he was given the same pair of gloves by Kyle. You guys are gonna have to give me your theories on that. But speaking of theories, talking about season 2, it seems like we're definitely going to be getting the trio back, as Don Mancini mentioned in the making of this episode that he wants these characters back and explored.
Yeah.
But I feel like now we're going to see a lot more of the legacy cast members. But I just don't know if there will be in Hackensack, or maybe it'll be a situation where we're following 2 different stories at once. Hell, in a weird way, you could transition this into 1 season and a movie, where you can have a movie of Andy with the Tiffany and the Chucky dolls doing whatever adventures going on there, and then continue another season with this trio here. But if anything, I feel like they're gonna combine it into 1 story. I think my main wish list and the thing I want to see next season is just do it. Bring in Glenn and Glenda. I want to see those characters back. I want them kind of re-explored. You guys heard me mention I'm not a fan of Seed of Chucky, but surprisingly I am a fan of the Glenn and Glenda character, and I would love to see Chucky interact with them. Also looks like we're going to be getting Tiffany in doll form. But lastly and most importantly, justice for Nika. Please, please, man. Like, feel so bad for what happened to her this episode. But that's where I'll leave it off to you guys. I want to know, what did you think of the finale for the Chucky TV series? Did it live up to your expectations? What did you like? What didn't you like? What is your wish list for season 2? Anything and everything, be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films, or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chucky Boy. Take care. Alright, I got a lot.
But yeah though, man, season was good. The whole episode was good. You know what I'm saying though, man. But yeah though, man. But hey, season 2 coming out next year. Can't wait for that, man. Let me know what y'all think about it. Let me know in the comment below. But yeah, I'm out, y'all, man. Y'all. Peace.